What's up, everyone? I'm Ashley Smashley. In this video, we are going to continue the conversation about emotional triggers and talk about what to do when you trigger someone else. If you are new to my channel, you're going to want to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications because we are just getting started over here, baby. Your girl is going to blow up. You're going to want to be here to watch it all go down. Your emotional triggers are the key to everything. Literally, it has so much valuable insight. So if you haven't seen my last couple videos, I've been talking about emotions, emotional triggers. You should definitely go check them out. I will link them down below. But in this video, we are going to talk about what happens when you trigger someone else. And in the last video, I made the distinction that there are two different types of emotional triggers. One where the intention is to trigger, and one where it's unintentional triggering. Okay, so if you trigger someone and your intention was to trigger them, and what this might look like is like, ooh, I want to make them jealous, so I'm going to post a certain picture or a certain post on social media so they see that and they get jealous. Or, ooh, I want to make them feel guilty. I want to make them feel bad for what they did to me. Ooh, I want to make them feel ashamed of themselves. Whenever you're trying to make someone feel something, your intention is to trigger them. Whatever emotion that you are trying to get that person to feel, you have that energy from that repressed emotion stuck in your field. And that emotion is vibrating at a certain frequency. And that is why you are trying to get that person to match your frequency by projecting that vibration onto them. And a lot of times people are doing this and they aren't aware that that is their intention, that they are trying to make someone get triggered and trigger an emotional reaction in them, but they aren't aware that that's what they're doing. But that still doesn't make a difference, okay? If you are intentionally doing something to trigger someone else and have them feel and experience a certain emotion, that is an indication of that energy repressed within your field. So what you want to do is you want to sit and feel that energy, okay? And allow it to exist from a place of non-judgment, and you will clear and release that energy out of your field. And these emotional processes to clear and release these energies out of your field, there are tons of different ways to clear this energy out of your field. This is not the only way. You can also tap the energy out of your field, but sitting with it, that is like the way that they say that you must just observe it from a higher state of consciousness, and the energy will actually eventually clear out of your field. And it might not clear right away. You might have to sit with this energy several times before it really gets seen and loved and released properly. That is when you are intentionally trying to trigger an emotional reaction out of somebody, then that is because you have that energy in your field. So what happens a lot of times is that we unintentionally trigger somebody. We're just being us, right? And somebody gets triggered by that. And I am very much a recovering people pleaser. I'm still very much in this process of recovering from being a people pleaser. Whenever someone was upset with me, it used to completely dysregulate my nervous system. So this is definitely something that I am still working through. And one thing that will help you understand that you are not responsible for other people's emotional reactions to things is when you understand how emotions work. If you are just unintentionally, doing your thing and that causes an emotional reaction and triggers somebody, that is the energy in their field that you are reflecting back to them. And it's up to them to process and clear that energy. But most people aren't aware of how this works. So they just project and blame the mirror, reflecting back to them the energy that they have in their field. So when this type of emotional triggering occurs, all you can do is sit with it and sit in your dysregulated state and bring yourself to a regulated state and keep doing that and keep doing that. And one thing that has really helped me with this actually is making content online, because I'm never out here trying to intentionally trigger people, right? But people do get triggered. And you will see from the engagement on anyone's post really that the triggering posts get more reactions out of people, more engagement on the post. People are much more likely to leave a comment when they are emotionally triggered. But that's not your fault. That's not your responsibility, okay? You can't be running around not doing what you want and not being you because you're worried about triggering people. And that's the way I've lived my life for a very long time. And one thing that happened to me last year, I went and worked at a job and all these people didn't like me. And it was like I couldn't do anything about it. My light was irritating their demons, as they say, right? I was reflecting back to them complete insecure whatever they had going on over there, and it was just me. I was just being me. I wasn't trying to trigger them, but it got to the point where I had to quit. It was so bad. You cannot always be responsible for when other people are triggered, when you are just doing your thing. And I know it's very hard to get to this place where you're just unbothered, right? But the more it happens, the more unbothered you will end up being. And the more you sit and bring yourself to a regulated state, and the less you are going to care, and the more you can wrap your head around, like, this is their emotional baggage that they are projecting onto me. I am just the mirror. And when you become a light worker and you are out here doing your thing, you better be ready to trigger people, because people are living in la la land. They have so much unresolved energy, unprocessed energy in their shadow and unresolved aspects of self that they are not willing to face, right? So instead of being aware and dealing with this on their own, they are going to blame you. So either way, whether you're intentionally triggering people or unintentionally triggering people, there is valuable insight and valuable healing for yourself in those interactions, right? So if you are intentionally triggering somebody, sit with that and ask, what emotion am I trying to get them to feel? And understand that's repressed within your field. Sit and process that emotion out of your own field. And then if you are unintentionally triggering people, and it is bothering you to have people not like you, you have to sit with that and get to a regulated space and get to the knowing that their emotions are their responsibility. And this is a process, okay? I've been doing this for years and I'm still very much in the process. Our emotional journey and our energetic healing journey. I mean, some people instantly shift, and become enlightened. That's great, but that's not the reality for most of us, okay? So, and if you think that you have this mastered somehow, are you enlightened? Ask yourself that. Have you lost the sense of the separate self? No? Okay, then you still have energy in your field that's blocking you from having that energetic opening to drop the sense of the separate self. And that's when you win the game, right? When we become enlightened and we lose the sense of the separate self, we return to God consciousness, okay? And the key to doing that is analyzing our triggers and sitting in awareness and releasing the energy that comes up from whatever triggers we are having. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.